Hey guys, it's Dwayne, Doozer's Models. I just thought I'd sit down and have a little dialogue with you guys if you're interested. I've been noticing a couple of guys commenting on their videos about masking tape issues and decal issues and some different things. So I just thought I'd take a few minutes and share with you some technical information. I'm by no means an expert or know-it-all on this stuff, but I do have a little bit of background knowledge on this based on my what I do for work with decals and application and stuff like that. For a lot of you guys, this will be extremely redundant information you already know, but if this sheds a light to one or two guys that help you get better masking and better decals, then it was well worth my time. So what I've done is I've done a couple of quick diagrams, and what these represent is this is gloss paint versus matte paint. So when you lay down gloss paint or gloss clear coat, the particles lay flat, and when the light comes in, it reflects off evenly, thus making it look shiny. In a matte finish or a satin finish, depending on the level of matteness and finishness, the particles are designed to lay uneven. And what that does is that reflects the light in several different directions, thus giving a matte finish. So when they design the paint, they design it to either lay flat with the particles for a gloss finish or lay randomly for a matte finish. So if you can appreciate when you're trying to lay a decal or masking tape or anything like that, this is your model surface, this is your paint particles, and this is your masking tape or your decal. What it does is you have a lot more surface area for the tape to attach or the decal to attach. If you look at the matte finish, here's your model, here's your matte finish, and here's your decal going on or your tape going on. All you're doing is getting a little bit of adhesion on these tips, and it's leaving air pockets. And what air pockets become pathways for the paint to go or for the decal to not stick. So if you can appreciate laying a decal or a tape on there, it's going to be smooth, it's going to adhere, you got lots of surface area, it's all good. If you put it on here, what happens is you put a decal on wet, moisture gets trapped. Even if you try to squeegee it all out, it gets trapped in there, and then what happens is it dries and becomes an air pocket, and you get what's called ghosting or silvering. And that's so when you put a decal down, it looks great, but then when it dries, suddenly it's got marbling in it or texture in it or something. And what that is that's those air pockets not going. Not to mention the fact that if it's really matte paint, the high spots, you're only getting a few areas, the decal's going to curl up, it's going to lift off, it could even fall off. Another part is when you're putting masking tape on it, you've got channels left where the paint is going to bleed through. So what I'm suggesting to you, or what I'm saying is, anytime that you're using decals or masking, the glosser the shine of the paint, the better you're going to have results when you do your decaling or your masking. If you go and try to put decals or masking tape on a matte or a satin finish, you're going to have these issues. So if you want a matte finish, that's fine. You do a shiny finish to start, you put your decals on, and then you put a matte clear coat over top of it to get the same effect. You've got the adhesion for the decal, you've got the lighting effect that you want for the matte finish, and that's how you attain it. But if you try to put it on this, you're going to have issues with the decal falling off, silvering, bleed through, the whole thing not sticking. Now another part that comes into play with this is when you try to squeegee the moisture out of the decal has a hydraulic action. So as soon as you squeegee it out, it wants to track back in. So the smoother it is, the less likely it is to let it back in. Whereas if you've got all these gaps, you're going to squeegee out the moisture, it's going to vacuum back in, and it's going to go in there. And no matter how much you squeegee it, you're going to get that moisture trapped. It's going to evaporate, and you're going to get silvering in your decal. One small tip that I will give you guys based on that is when you are doing your decaling and you're squeegeeing your moisture out, to stop it from hydraulicking back in, have a piece of paper towel at the edge so that when you squeegee it out, the paper towel will sop up that moisture and not let it hydraulic back into the thing. So like I said, for those of you that already know that, sorry to waste your time. If I helped one or two guys to move forward with your decaling or your masking, then it was well worth my time. So always, whenever possible, if you're doing any masking or decaling, put it on as shiny a finish as you possibly can. If the final outcome has to be matte, add matte clear coat after the fact. Anyways, hope that helps. As you can see by looking around, still haven't had a whole lot of time on the bench. Hoping to maybe get some work done tonight. Anyways, hope it was helpful. Have a good night. Take care. Build on.